live. So
Yes,
there you go.
sir. All right.
Show. I can see
Yeah.
and hear you.
Derek wants to know if which one we're interviewing, Edwin or Edward. Yeah,
Edwin's got to do some work.
he's got shit to do.
Yep.
All right, I think we're live.
Yeah, we're good. I see it. I see it everywhere.
You see it on both of them?
Yep.
Lit.
Sweet. Look, I got notifications on both YouTube and.
We're banging on all cylinders
I'm
today.
telling you, bro. What?
The cursed is gone. I don't know what that means. But this is Everyday Audio's number 46.
46
of them, dude. Yeah, that's a lot. We should have like 60, but we just like took off weeks at a time sometimes.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, that's all my fault, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
You know?
Anytime we don't show up a week, it's just blame Fade.
100%.
Or like we do it a random Friday or something weird.
100%.
Tuesday is our day, bro. You coming in our turf, it's over with.
Maybe we should talk to Ed about being the guest host when I can't be here.
Yeah, for sure.
How are your Tuesdays looking there, Ed?
He's busy.
Like I was telling him, I might have to do some light work in the background while we do this. But
Right. Just
Ed's gonna be back there soldering shit.
put us on speakerphone, cuz.
Just break out the MIG.
I mean, that's all right. But if I have enough notice, then I can arrange things.
But this is episode 46, and we got a big time guest here. Dare I say, might be our biggest guest ever. I don't count any other guys before that. You know, I mean, just some local guys we had on the show.
Bullshit.
But we got some national coverage now. Mr. Edward Lester of Sparked Innovation. It's over with. The game has changed.
The game has changed.
What's going on, buddy?
Thank you, though. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Man's dropping ohmies out here.
What?
Ohmies for the homies. Big D, chill out, bro. That wasn't clever. Don't be making cool titles on your YouTube videos.
Right.
That's why I named it Omi, though.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. That thing, like I know we had. I mean, I don't know where, but we're just jumping around topics. But I know we had one that came out before. But I think that was just like some kind of electrical device that the guy stumbled upon, and he was selling it.
Yeah, Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. Omega Switch, and just
Yo, honestly, at the time, that was some handy dandy shit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it was the most confusing thing that I have ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys want to get into talking about this?
No, we gotta start at the beginning. First of all,
I was just.
He's wearing a sundown shirt, and what are you drinking? An old school stereo mug? Is that what I saw?
Yep.
We're gonna have to get your address.
Dee, where is my old school stereo? Oh my god! I'm so jealous right now.
You have yours, Fade?
What?
I
have my mug. Yes.
There it is. We're gonna have to get Ed's address, and we will get you one in the mail.
Hey, if you got something,
yes,
sir.
I
got friends, and I got Earl Grey tea. So.
No, you don't.
So does Fade.
You just the car audio guys in the chat. He's like gonna have a shit.
That's all I drink though, because I was a big Star Trek Next Generation fan, and that still am. But
why does that not surprise me? You're the biggest nerd. I love it though. I love that about you, man.
Why not? Well, I appreciate that.
I love that. So I guess let's take us back to the beginning, dude.
The beginning. I've talked about the beginning too much. I think actually one of the posts I shared for today announcing that I was going to be on, my mom commented on. So make sure you talk about when he first started competing, and because she should get the credit. I was 15 when I started competing, and she let me borrow her car. And
nice.
My old Vega XLs, my old Punch 60iX amp back there, and she had to drive it through the lanes and do that, but she let me use it because I saw the poster at the local shop and said, "Can I do this?" Begged her for it, and she let me do it. So she wanted me to say that she's responsible for this whole. What would you call a car audio career or downfall?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Slowly descending hobby. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Just spiral.
Shout out to Mama Lester for kicking it off. With what kind of car was it?
A Bronco 2.
No.
What? Wait, what was it?
I want it.
A Ford Bronco 2.
Oh my god.
You came out hot with the SUV, then you was putting up some scores then, huh?
Yeah. No, it was like a 139, I think was my Like so, and that's on the old mics, that were 6 dB louder than today. So
Right.
no, not very good.
And what was it? What was that setup?
It was 212s in a big old ported box, though. The 12
Hey.
Sir Vega XLs with a 60IX. So what was that? 120 watts per woofer, probably.
Dude, I would love to have a Bronco 2 these days, for real.
Yeah.
Or honestly, I mean, if I'm picking, I'd rather have a full size Bronco.
Yeah.
But shout out to Car Audio Guy for the donation. Appreciate you, brother. And Byron again, guys.
Yeah, coming in big.
Killing
Appreciate it.
Byron, love you guys.
So 139s at 15 years old. That still probably beats me. I don't think I got into audio till like I was like 19 or 20.
No.
It's just
yeah.
We're late bloomers. I don't think I've ever bloomed yet, but still.
No, you definitely haven't bloomed yet.
No. I'm still budding.
He's still budding. Yeah, but like lots of buds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got
like,
I'm on the ground like a potato.
Skip doesn't really like compete though. Like that's not his thing. He just plays. And I love that about him. He just plays around. He does what's fun. He doesn't care one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He dabbles in SQ now. He does the SPL thing. He does the music. He does I love it.
I don't do everything wholeheartedly. I do everything half-assed.
Right.
That's my motto.
You do everything 20%, but you got like 5 of them.
Right. Yeah, right. I got to split my time up.
That's right.
That's it. You're diverse. You're a diverse individual.
Yeah, right.
You got to diversify.
That's what I said.
Or
I know a little, like, there's Master of All and all of them, Jack of Trades. I know a little bit about a lot of little different areas, I don't master anything.
Yeah.
Never have, never will.
I appreciate that because I'm the same way. And part of it is, some people said you could be like a huge successful engineer at a firm somewhere. That would be if I focused on something. And I didn't focus on one thing. It's wanting to try. If you guys are Simpsons fans, Homer, how many jobs he's had. He's been an astronaut and in the military and all this types of things. And that's kind of same thing here, doing like 20, 30 different jobs over my lifetime. Can't focus. You want to diversify. Like you said, you got to diversify.
Can you tell us what your day job is? What your actual day job is? Or do you not want to get into it? Huh?
That's it. It's Sparked Innovations.
No kidding.
Yeah. So when my business partner, Rich Tornetta, and I started, at the time I was a road tech for a GPS company. I know a bunch of people in SPL do that, like Steve Mick and Sam Horn, and people have done that over the years. And making probably 70, 80 grand a year, something like that. But I was on the road for sometimes 10 days a week, had no time to do anything. We said, if we're going to make a go at this, we want to make it a real company. So we agreed that all the investment money, all the money I had saved up, I would use to live off of for a little while. And all the money he invested would be used to keep me going and get the business started. So he's still at his job, but I left to do this full time. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do it. Our goal is to make it a real company with a bunch of employees and a big facility someday, but we got to start here. So it's a gamble. And, there's been tough times where there were no groceries for a month and whatever, but
you burn the ships.
Yeah. Yeah. We just got to make a go of it. We got to do what we can. So that's part of it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go all in if you got a second, if you got a parachute,
Yeah.
That's what they say, that you burning the ships. You do what you do and cut all ties to everything else. Mm-hmm. Like, don't even make it an option. And that's awesome. That's awesome because you and I have been talking. I got to get one of your faceplates. I want an Omi. I want all that stuff, man.
Hey, we got them.
Good.
So, I mean, that's the day job, 16 hours a day, probably. I mean, I went to bed at 3 a.m. last night. I was up at 10 this morning and right to work. So being able to be in this space where my living space is the size of my bed, but the workspace is a 2-car garage, the whole living room, the kitchen, everything is shipping and receiving and storage and inventory and all that. So it turned into our office, and I'll suffer until we can, afford something bigger. But like you said, cut all the ties. It's who is it? Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank says, why not quit the job and go for it? Mm-hmm. And we had to do. So
Not for nothing. Just for a contrarian point of view there, they always tell those guys that because they're billionaires. These guys back here struggling and eating ramen, the people they're talking to, it's real easy to say being a billionaire. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like you hear all these entrepreneurs, like what's that douchebag that's always Grant Cardone. They're like, just go out there and get it. Dude, I got bills to pay. I need to eat. I got kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just like shut it down and do the thing. I hate that bullshit. Like, they're just preaching. Anyway, I'm going off.
You don't like Instagram influencers, dude?
No, I hate that bullshit because it's all so generic. It's like, get off your ass and go and do it. Like, do what? Motherfucker, what are you talking about?
Make billions, bro.
Yeah, just go make billions. Put your mind to it and make billions. Ah! I hate those people. Anyway, that's what you did.
Shout out Rick Quattlebaum. Appreciate you.
What I want to say to people, anyone listen to that follows that sort of thing is I did have the backing of my business partner, and he couldn't do it because he has a wife and a kid. I'm single. I don't have kids. I was able to do that. I was living more streamlined, I guess you can say. So I had the ability to do that more than he did. And if I needed to, I don't like ramen, but I did buy it. And, I'd have times where I had to get orders out by 5. I'd go to the post office and then drive Uber to make a couple bucks for a couple hours and then go home and build more product for the next day. So I was able to do that. So like you're saying, all the people, get out there and do it. Not everyone can. You got a family to support. There's no way you're going to leave a job and survive off a couple hours of Uber or nothing. And when we first started, I was still finishing up a degree. I was in college. So, not everyone can shift their time and their focus. I just started doing more online classes for my last semester to make it work. But like I said, not everyone can do that. So yeah, you got a big family, you got a nice job, it's harder to do. If you could partner up with someone that could take the day off to do that, then hey, then you can go for it.
I call them the golden handcuffs, right? Because I have a very stable job that makes that pays for my house and my car audio and all that stuff, and I'm handcuffed to it at the moment, but they're golden handcuffs, or fuzzy, one way or the other. Like it would be tough for me to cut those off to be like, listen, family, we're gonna eat ramen because daddy wants to, fucking whatever.
What do you want to do?
I was gonna give away our $1
billion idea.
No, I got a secret. I can't reveal it yet. I can't reveal it yet. And it's actually a direct competitor to the Omi. It's just a little bit better.
Yeah. It's not it at all.
Listen, I love your the faceplates and the all that stuff that you got going on. But the Omi, for me personally, is a game changer because everyone needs this thing to change impedance oh my God, is it that big? The pictures didn't do it justice. Holy shit. Oh my God. I mean, talk about a showpiece. I thought it was going to be smaller. That's what she said.
I still got to finish wiring it up. We use jumpers, so your power doesn't run through the PCB. It runs through jumpers. So I still got to
Holy crap, the thing is bigger than I thought.
And you can have a button like all the way in your dash and just hit it on the fly, huh?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Buttons printed up that say SPL on them or our other switches, and we got cables that are all direct plug-in. And
do we know how much that thing is yet?
On pre-sale, some of our dealers are doing $160. For MAP, regular price is going to be $179.
All right, so
we can talk about that as we go down if you want to more in detail.
Yeah, when are those hitting shelves?
This is the one I'm building to send to a dealer right now, and then we're going to the Sundown show this weekend, so I won't have time to go into production till next week. But as soon as I get back from the Sundown show on Monday, Tuesday, whenever I get settled in, we're doing production. So,
because I get the faceplate I'm getting from you is obviously going to need a button for the Omi too, I guess. So, God damn it.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending money pit. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I hate you people.
And then you just leave it in the cars when you sell them too.
That's what I do.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Try not to do that with good product.
Yeah.
Well, I
He's
have
done it before.
Yeah. I got a thing. I'll leave like $300 worth of RCAs and $200 worth of power wire. Just get it. Just go. Just beat it.
Mike's voltmeter in there.
Leave there, but like of course, you're not going to peel up deadener and stuff like that. Can you imagine some
Yes.
real cheap
cheap guy? Yes.
What are you gonna do with it though? It's not like
somebody will figure it out. You can put it on the floor.
That's like reusing a condom. It's not happening.
Hey, you put it on the floor or something.
New product idea: deadener readhesive.
Oh my god! Like it is.
It's called a blowtorch.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. So mom's let you use the Bronco for a little while, and then when did you get your first car that you got serious with? Was that the HHR or?
No. Well, when I was 16, I got a hand-me-down '87 Plymouth Duster.
Whoa.
Yes.
I grew up.
Got some badass. Yeah, y'all got some badass cars over there, man.
Seriously.
It was the Turismo. It was like a Plymouth Rise and Dodge Omni, which was then another car I bought later on.
Don't they make a crazy fast one like that? The Omni?
No, I eventually bought a Shelby Charger, and there was the Omni version of that.
Oh, okay, yeah. The GLS HS or something like that?
Yes, yeah, they were turbo. I mean, in the 80s, they were 176 horsepower.
Yeah, it goes like hell.
Yeah.
And the S was the goes like hell some more.
Yeah.
But that car, I'm pouring concrete in the floor out on the street because we lived on a block near Philly. So, like, I wanted to fill my floor up. So I had wooden frame, and I was filling up the doors. I had multiple layers of MDF on the doors. And I'm out there in the street screwing them in the door and doing all that stuff. And built a wall in that. Not till I was 18. When I was 16, I was all no wall with that one. And I tried to compete in Sound Q. I know you guys touch on Sound Q, but I did a few shows Sound Q, and it's not my thing.
It's not.
Why?
It's not anybody's thing.
Why?
Well, first off, I find it kind of odd. A lot of engineers are into Sound Q when SPL is more of an engineering format. It's more quantifiable. Your results are quicker. You can go through a big testing procedure, but Sound Q's very subjective, and consequently, a lot of the people are very judgy and opinionated. Not everyone, but some of the people, and it was just distasteful. Like,
if you're not in the in crowd, you're probably gonna get a lower score. I don't care what Faith says.
Charles, my man Charles Haley's watching right now. Are you offended? I'm triggered. I am triggered right now.
At least in my group, and this was the 90s, right? So like, it's when everyone had their t-shirts tucked into their jeans and
with no belt.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was that, because in later years, going to Spring Break Nationals and being involved on some Sound Q builds, people were great, and I loved listening to things and being involved in tuning sessions and stuff. But I didn't want to sit there and go through judging myself. To be on the outskirts is fine. And I built many systems that sound great, but I didn't have to be meticulous and go through all the old checklist of things I needed to get done. I could enjoy it more if it's just for my enjoyment. You know what I mean?
See, that's what's different too. SQ is like a totally different breed than just sounding good, Like, all I want is sound good. Faye's gonna hate it, but it sounds clean.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Crisp.
Oh my God. I swear, I'm gonna.
That's a thing.
Nuts,
but it's not the same thing as SoundCube. I mean, SoundCube. Sound quality.
Is your phone on the table? Because every time you get a notification, it like buzzes your mic.
That's my this is my.
Oh,
phone.
Is that yours? Okay.
Yeah,
we'll allow it.
I'm not a rookie. This is my first rodeo.
I get tons of people messaging me all the time.
Dude, SQ. Honestly, they're both they're like equally as scientific, I guess you can say. Like, there's so much,
but not the execution.
I don't know. It's debatable. I do both, and honestly, there's a lot involved in both. Like, both of them have their science, but the one thing that I will say about SPL is it's immediately quantifiable. You can immediately measure it. I mean, you can immediately measure with an RTA your frequency response, but it doesn't.
But that doesn't mean
how it's supposed to sound or who's going to.
But that doesn't mean the judge is going to give you a good score for that, you know? Which is annoying to some people. Like if I'm on the SPL meter, won't never lie to me. It won't never have a bad day and be like, I'll give you a 143.
Clamp might, but yeah, I hear you. I get it. Listen, I straddle the fence. Like I have one foot in both camps, so I can see both sides of the story, and I love both. Like I literally love chasing both dragons same time and hopefully get them both by the tail and just like smack their heads together. But I literally enjoy I thoroughly enjoy both, you know, and I think
one, Fade.
Especially
you have to quit the next one today. Pick one.
If I have to quit one,
you quitting SPL. I mean,
SQL, does that get you triggered?
Yeah.
No, I like SQL because that's my life. That's my whole life. I can't. I will not. I won't give up on either.
You gotta quit. You would definitely quit SPL.
Gun to my head. Done. I gotta have both.
See, that being said, my HHR, the plan is, even though it's been sitting and I have equipment on the shelf that hasn't gone in there in years, the idea is that the front stage setup is a sound cue inspired setup, where the rear is I can do whatever I want with SPL wise. So yeah, I do like both, but that when I say SQ inspired, not to the level to compete, but to the level to make it like max enjoyment for me.
Yeah,
for sure. That's not the same HHR. Your other HHR was white, wasn't it?
No, I had two black ones. This is the second.
Oh, okay. One. This wasn't the one with the LEDs and such not.
No, that was the last one.
Okay. Damn, you got a little fender bender right there.
Yeah, a drunk German tourist kicked me.
He kicked you?
Yeah, I was down in Philly dropping someone off after. So talking about these 20 different jobs, one of them was I'm on IMDb as a gaffer, an electrical person for films.
What?
And one
like you're credited? Like you're credited?
Yeah.
What?
I did a couple that are non-credited, but at least one's credited. And I dropped off a production assistant at the train station. I'm driving down the street, and some guy stepped off the curb and kicked me. So I stopped right in the middle of the lane, got out and chased him. His buddy stopped me and said something like, "You almost ran over him," but he jumped in the curb in the middle of the street. You know. Sorry, I got another notification. But
yeah, we hear it.
That's all right.
Anyway, that was there's a lot of things I need to fix up on there, and I just haven't, like I said, working 16 hours a day and stuff. I just haven't had the time. So it's sitting there with a little bit of body work that's still, so whatever.
We all got shit to do.
Yeah.
The never ending list.
Yeah, I need to put in a clutch. I have the clutch, but I can't find anyone to do it for me.
That's a 5-speed?
Yeah, that's the SS. My last one was an LT. This is the SS with the turbo and all.
I didn't know they made that.
That's what I'm talking about. 5-speed turbo?
Yeah.
Dang,
now you're talking Skippy's language.
Yeah, that's fun.
This is about 315 horsepower. About
what?
Jeez, I never knew they made that. That's shocking to me.
All it is a Cobalt wagon.
Yeah. Well, didn't they make they made the, what was the other Dodge thing? Oh, I'm thinking yeah, it's a Chevy. I'm retarded. Continue.
Well,
I was thinking of the Caliber.
The Caliber, yeah.
They made a turbo,
and they got the SRT4.
Yeah. No, but it's the same thing. Like I guess they did the same thing. Cobalt, neon.
My dream truck is like an SRT 8 Jeep for real.
Oh, they got that new Trackhawk.
Yeah.
I gotta have it. I mean, I can't pay $1.5 million for it, but you know, what are you gonna do? I'll get like an old one. This is like 2033
too, I think. You know?
Yeah, get like an old Jeep Cherokee and swap the engine to the new stuff.
There you go.
I don't know.
If you got the time, why not?
Yeah. Speaking of, since we're talking about this, like, what are your other interests? We know you do the Sparked Innovations. We know you love car audio. What are your other things? Anything else take up your brain space?
You got time for nothing.
We got no time for anything. Like I had to stop working in film because of just doing the business and time wise and everything. And that's what I went to school for, was communications with a focus on video production. I used to be a writer. I was studying astrophysics, and I thought it would be cool to go down that path and continue schooling and do that as a career, but it just would take too much. And if I started younger, that would be something, but
Actually, I don't know, a year or two ago, I remember commenting on a post of yours where you were debating the speed of light and shit like that. I was like, oh my, this is my homeboy right here.
Degrassi?
It's probably been a long going thing, because I continue to think about the inverse relationship between time and space itself, and growing space. But the way we measure Planck length and Planck time, they're interrelated. So there's no proof for it. I try to figure out a mathematical proof, but there's no basis for it. So, but I continue to think about that. And that's called once in a while.
What's Planck's constant for a reason, crackhead?
Yeah, but the way it's based, a Planck time is and length are measured with each other. They're not.
That's like using a definition to define the definition.
Yeah. I mean, if you're measuring the distance with time, you can't then separate that time by itself. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, we use a tape measure to measure time in the cars for time alignment. Why?
Well, that's different.
Obviously,
a different kind of measurement.
You can measure, a certain length is from here to here. Right? Use this as your scale to measure. But if your scale is how long it takes for something to reach here to there, that scale is based off of time. So then you can't take time, separate it from that length, and devise a formula off of it. So it needs to be based off of a different scale, a different measurement.
Well, that's why we have constants.
Yeah, but there's Planck's constant. That's what those are based off of. But measuring the time based off of the length is not. It's not conducive to devising a proportionality formula, and that's what I was trying to do, and I just couldn't. I'm not that smart. I can't. That's too high of a level.
Wait, are you not that smart, or is it not possible?
It might not be possible, but you can't.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here. Exercise in futility. That's why we use a tape measure to measure time in cars and a watch to measure 2x4s when you're building walls.
Exactly.
Stupid.
But yeah, that's a fun little hobby, is even just going through thought experiments like that.
I've never done that in my life.
Dude, that's how you cannot align time. I swear to God, I'm taking notes on all the dumbass comments that I see in all of these shows. And every time I see somebody at finals with a dumbass comment like you cannot align time, you're getting a donkey punch at finals. Let me see you at finals.
10. A conversion based off the speed of sound and your positioning.
Exactly. Thank you. So Edward gets it. Put your glasses on, real quick.
1,130 feet per second at sea level.
I just watched that video you did the other day about that. About quarter wave.
Did I do that?
I think so.
Did I do that?
No. I've had it in the videos, but I don't think it was a dedicated video for
Yeah. Something about that.
Yeah. But that's what it is. You can divide that by your frequency and you come up with the length. So now frequencies have a length from the peak to the peak.
That's weird, huh?
Oh wait, did you do one on resonance or transfer function? I'm sorry. I am subscribed to your channel. I just don't watch them all.
But if it's a 15-minute long video, I might be talking about that for the last 1 minute, something like that. But the problem is on YouTube. So if people aren't watching that I do YouTube on Showtime SPL, what I try doing is telling a story from video to video, right? And instead of asserting myself as an expert and saying this is the way it is, I try to ask the question and go through a process of discovery. And so I would say things like, I'm not sure what's causing this, but it could be this, but let's find out, right? And unfortunately, there came a lot of comments of people asserting themselves as the expert and telling me to do things I either did in the video and that they didn't watch.
Yeah.
Or, or something that was completely like bogus or whatever. So it backfired.
That's what most people do. They'll pause the video and just scroll down the comments and try to sneak in a jab or something,
That's what it seemed like. They're like, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, no, I did it and I showed it didn't work. Like,
no, honestly though, I like that about your videos where you don't have all the answers at the time of filming. Yeah. So we're going to explore this in this video or in a later video. I'm trying this right now to see what happens, blah, blah, blah. No. And I like that it's like, I don't know if you do it on purpose, like to get people to watch the next one or whatever, but I appreciate that because a lot of stuff is too scripted, and, but I like the journey, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out together, man.
At least you like it. I'm glad. Thank you.
There's one.
Yeah,
why? Skip. I hate to interrupt. But why do we have these random comments popping up on?
Because I'm doing it myself.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah, I'm showing you like just funny ones. Somebody said, "What's a donkey punch?"
It's a new format, people. So I'm just trying to get rid of it.
And this guy said that comment was a troll from Audio Frog. Andy said it on our show.
And he's an idiot.
There it is.
He's an opinionated, well-educated,
He's an old man,
friggin' genius idiot. He's the damn dumbest smart person I know.
Yeah, he is.
No, I'm just kidding. And he's really smart. And he likes to say that all the time. You can't align time. You can, you delay it. You're just delaying things.
Oh yeah. There's delays. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually Andy's big deal is that a tape measure is fine for time alignment, right. Because something's this far from this, and that's it's finite. Like if it's this far from this, and we know this friggin' speed of sound, it's all you need to know. You don't need to be fiddling with it.
Now, is there if you've seen or built a lot of sound cue vehicles, do they follow the same rules as home audio where tweeters will be further away than low frequency drivers?
No, because in HT, I don't deal with HT a whole lot, but in car audio, we can align or time align every driver in the car. Whereas in a bookshelf or a tower or whatever, they're mostly passive, right? So you have one channel, one side going into one tower where everything has to be passive. So what they do is they'll mess with like
the physical.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I guess you have room if it's in a house to be able to do that.
But the other thing is that you're sitting in the sweet spot at home, right? You get to sit on the couch right directly between. That's right. You get a triangle, but you're still not equidistant from each voice coil. So what some will do, they'll offset the tweeter and they'll mess with all that stuff and blah blah blah. But in a car with a processor, then you can be like, oh, okay, the tweeter is 2 inches further from me than the mid range, so I can So we don't have to worry about that.
Makes sense.
Although tweeter frequencies, high frequencies, are dominated by intensity, interaural intensity differences. So I don't know so much about time. You can just quote unquote align your tweeters with level, right? So this one is this much closer. So sound is an inverse square, right? Especially at over like 1.2, 1.5 kilohertz. So if this one's closer, it's going to sound closer to me. So all I have to do is attenuate this one according to the inverse square law so that they both sound like they're exactly the same distance from me, equidistant. So I don't really need the time alignment on high frequencies as I do just attenuation.
That's your EQ versus a time processor.
Well, you're just making this one quieter because it's closer. It sounds closer to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And every setup's gonna be different, but that's why I say it's subjective too, because someone might have sensitivity to higher frequencies where you don't as much, or you might be old and losing your hearing at certain
Right.
frequencies.
Well, that's right. Well, that's why we have, especially at World Finals, we have like 5 judges come through our cars, right? And it's an average.
Scores out, or they
yeah, it's an average. Yeah. I mean, if we could kick the highest and lowest, like I would be world champion.
Hey.
Yeah, why don't they do that? That makes more sense, you know.
I don't know. Honestly, I was the
curve, bro.
I really don't want to get into it, but I was the favorite car on like most or all the judges' score sheets except one. But like the one judge gave another car like a huge advantage to a different car, like way greater than the mean, you know. And
but do you compete for you personally? It's
yeah. I love chasing the dragon. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, what I mean is back in the 90s and early 2000s, it was all for clout of your shop. If you could win a title under your shop's name, you were the shop to go to. Where someone wanted a high-end install, you got all these trophies piled up. They're going to trust you more, you know? So everyone was competing under a shop name, and then there were manufacturer team, obviously, when you had all the big, what are some sound cube brands for back then? I don't even remember. But they would all shoot it out versus each other, so that it was more of an advertising thing for them. Or nowadays, I don't think that's true as much.
No, that's not just sound quality. I mean, back in the day, SPL too. It used to be manufacturer versus manufacturer, and that was like the jam. You know, nobody. When's the last time you saw a manufacturer vehicle?
Oh, they still do them.
You mean that competes?
Like full on
Crossfire? Anywhere.
Didn't Crossfire? Crossfire's got one.
Yeah. Well, I see them all the time. We have a couple Ohmies that might be going in Excess Power's truck, and Scotty's got his Cadillac, and McMahon has his hearse, and Sundown has their demo van and all that stuff. But like I said, they're demo stuff. They don't compete.
Yeah. That what you're talking about, Fade?
So. Sort of. It's different.
Yeah, I know.
It used to be the kicker van versus the Fosgate van.
Yeah.
You know, I guess maybe I'm thinking too far back, but like I know like Derek Haddock does a lot for Sundown, and the Terra is the Sundown. But like, when was the last time you saw like this is the Sundown van, or this is the Fosgate van? You know what I mean?
Competition, not since.
Put it in the lanes, bro.
They probably don't.
5. I know 03 with Scott. I was on Team Thunder Force, the MTX guys, and they had their MTX van, and there was, there was a couple of manufacturers, but this is 16 years ago. So.
They're right. Yeah. Well, I remember that shit. I remember when like Amp Wars and Manufacturer Wars, and like it was a thing. You know, like Savard has a van. That's Savard's Excursion. This is their thing. It has
but they didn't build it.
Yeah, you're fucking right. They built it.
No, they didn't. They said they didn't.
Are you shitting me?
They Savard did not.
Built it right there.
Oh wait, the van? I thought you meant that Excursion. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Excursion. That's what I'm talking about.
No, they didn't build that.
Who built it?
Some guy in Alabama.
Are you shitting me? All right, I got some. I got some
Fade. Cut the hard line. Yeah, just hang on. Let me get rid of that X.
Can you rewind the blockchain?
It's probably, I don't know. They probably don't care anymore. They make so much money now. It's easier to like sponsor somebody and does all the work, and they just give them product, you know?
Yeah.
And safer.
Anyway.
I mean, some of that's mixed up with that is where it might not be a manufacturer owned and run vehicle. It's someone that just teamed up and got fully sponsored by a manufacturer.
Get banged.
Or an employee manufacturer, you know.
And Derek, Keith Payne built it. Actually, I'm all right with that. Keith Payne's local.
Yeah, I remember that. It's not like we had him on the show or anything.
Right.
Fade. Jesus.
Wait, what?
Fade, I think this is all a blur to Fade. Every Tuesday is just a memory, like a haze.
It's not a memory. It's a haze.
Yeah, it's just a mess of nonsense.
That's why I can't go back and watch these shows. I'm like,
I never do.
You're so
always say I am, but I never do.
I never.
All right. So we're gonna go backtrack some more. So you're from Georgia, correct? Or live in Georgia?
No,
huh?
I'm from Philly.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're in Philly right now? All right. Yeah. Well, then I got to cut the hard line now.
Exactly. Strike one for Skip.
So,
but you have to give him a minute to answer because our audio cuts into his.
No. Well, there was a time I did live in Georgia.
Okay, I'm saving face. I'm saving face.
Yeah. Those were the T3 days.
That's what I want to get into.
Here we go.
Now, how did that come about?
Well, I wasn't as involved as some might think, but in 2007 with my old HHR, I was just a customer and a competitor using T3 woofers. And they were the TSS, like the first generation with the aluminum cone and all this and that. And then in 2008, that's when I worked for that lighting company, when I had all the lights on my box and all that stuff. And 2008 at finals, I used custom woofers from JD, custom T3 woofers based off of the same motors and baskets I had with just beefier coils and stiffer cones and stuff. At finals, right before finals is when that lighting company went out of business. I was laid off because they did a deal with Trump and he never paid. So anyway, JD, I was at finals with him and he knew I was out of work and he said, well, we talked and I was trying to do the razor light thing after Sea Light when we were trying to do a lighting thing for cars on our own. Me and my current business partner.
Jonathan DeMuth?
Yeah.
Well, he was the one doing woofers, but I was doing the lighting company with my current business partner, Rich.
He's in the chat. So if you want to talk shit, go ahead.
But we did SEMA that year and we just happened to be the booth connected right next to T3 Audio. And we had like the second most visited booth at SEMA, only behind Ford that year. But we weren't the money behind it and the real movers and shakers of the company. We were just the ones kind of designing the product. And we never made anything happen. And the parent company went out of business anyway, so we couldn't do anything with that. But trying to go down that path and working for manufacturers before Spring Break National, so it was like February into March of that following year after that SEMA 2008. So this is then 2009. JD invited me down to T3 to work for a few weeks and help him build a car to get to Spring Break Nationals. So put my HHR in the booth and all this and that. So did that and we worked well together. We got along. We had the same birthday and everything. So we became friends and I didn't fully live down there or anything, but I stayed there for a month. And then I would come home for a few weeks or a month. And then he'd need more help and I'd go back down for a month. And it happened like that for a year. And in between that, I was getting little jobs. I was a UPS driver for a while. I worked in commercial sales at Pep Boys. I did a whole bunch of, I was a process server, like serving subpoenas and stuff like that. Yeah, that was fun.
You've been served?
Yeah, type shit? Is it just like they show on the TV, like throw it in the door and that's it?
No, that happened maybe once.
Okay.
My buddy that I was working with.
Give us your best one.
Give us the door on his hand, so he punched the guy with the letter.
Yeah. Served, bitch.
So, yeah.
Is that your best one? Are there any crazy ones?
What, jobs?
No. Like serving
stories.
Like, what were you serving it with? Like divorce papers? You got to show up at court or whatever?
Divorce papers. There were family court stuff, but then there was just other random stuff. But there was a guy that after I handed it to him, he threw it on his lawn and ran in his house. I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
It doesn't matter. You've been served.
Right. It didn't matter, and that was stupid. So,
like, so they just have to take your word, like the courts that I put it in their hands.
Well, we worked for the courts and the sheriff, so we were trusted officers.
Okay.
So if they found a bunch of letters in the trunk of someone's car that said they delivered them, that'd be a different story. But
right.
No. And a lot of times we would also take a picture of the house or a little video and stuff like that. So, but I was doing
like
that
Amazon,
and then going down to Georgia and working T3, either building woofers or handling customers and stuff like that. And then it happened where some guy Jonathan got involved in the business side, named Mark Pyle. He did a lot of shady stuff and tried to take the company from Jonathan, and that's where a lot of the money coming in for sales went right back out to fight this guy in court.
Jeez.
Jesus,
That's
here we go.
Why the company didn't last is just, court stuff. Kind of the same thing why Sealight, the lighting company, didn't last, except that was court with Trump on a little higher scale, and just that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
Trump?
Yeah.
The president Trump?
Yeah.
Like he sued y'all for lighting or like didn't pay or something for lighting?
Yeah, for his casinos, the lighting that we had was used for architectural, and for my design, for the architects, for the product itself, the installation, all this and that was hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he just refused to pay. And I think it's probably still sitting in his casinos to this day, but instead he does this. That was his thing back then.
To just dine and dash.
It's cheaper to fight you in court than to pay for it.
That's dirty. Yeah. I did hear those stories coming up, yeah.
Right.
But all right, so we got a super chat
stuff too. So
super chat question for you, Ed. Any plans to run salt amps?
Actually, I've been looking at those and I like them. I just got to find. I'll see them this weekend at the Sundown show.
What is your gear of choice?
A Myriad.
What? Welcome to the club, brother.
Yeah. What I have sitting for my HHR is audio system stuff from Germany, for the front stage and the 4-channel amp, and then for the subs, I'll probably end up running Prodigy, which is Demuth's new brand that he's working on. And for the amps, I don't know. Amps are up in the air. I had audio system 3Ks to use, but before I even put them in, I'm going to switch to either Sundown or maybe DS18 or Incriminator or something like that.
Audio Systems is sort of an umbrella of Mascani, in case anybody doesn't know.
They're related, yeah. They're a German brand, so
there you go.
That's To wrap up the stuff that had to do with Mark Pyle trying to steal the company away and causing a lot of legal issues. And
that's over with? That's finalized and everything?
And it was stuff that both I and JD never really fully talked about. So there's always rumors of people saying you did this and scam person this and blah blah blah. There was nothing any shady on our side. I remember one story was that Jonathan he always tried to look out for his competitors, and when someone wanted to upgrade and change woofers, instead of him saying go sell your stuff, take that money for new stuff, he would say, I'll help you with the deal and play middleman. And he ended up, a couple deals just didn't go too well. He wasn't getting any money from that. He was just trying to introduce this person to this person and this and that. And, some stuff happened. And so this Mark Pyle guy, when the shipment of parts was coming over, he had it diverted to his facility. So Jonathan's sitting there in Georgia with an empty warehouse going, where's my stuff? So a lot of people got pissed. This is when all those rumors started happening because they weren't getting stuff. And Jonathan's like, well, I don't have it. And they're like, yeah, you just take my money, blah, blah, blah. And this stuff was hidden. This guy took it and locked it in a warehouse on his site and wouldn't let access to it. So it was just a lot of crazy crap that happened with that. And
dude, he called into the show, and that's a couple of comments we got on that, something like that, oh, you scam people out of pre-orders or something like that. You know?
But dude, Jonathan, he was also involved in the Murphy thing too. I just don't. Is it Murphy? Following him?
I don't know who Murphy is, but from what I remember, after T3 was done, I thought Jonathan just sold him parts. I think that's the only relationship there. But like I said, I never met him, so I don't know.
You never seen him? You never heard of him when you was in Georgia helping?
No. After. I never met the guy, but I heard him after, when there were rumors and stuff like that. And with Tantric. I've never physically seen a Tantric woofer. At least I don't think I have.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth feed.
But no, Jonathan's a good guy. He just, like I said, wasn't up on all the legal stuff with this guy and
unfortunately, the best engineers that we have, they're terrible, terrible businessmen.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
it started like us talking about like, do you need to be a snaky, sleazy person to make it in this industry? And
I know, right? Do you?
And he's not. I mean, he had no money to pay me, but he was still paying my bills. And when he had nothing coming in for a while, so like, you know,
think about the snakiest and sleaziest people in our industry, and think about how they're doing.
Jacob Fuller's
I'm not naming anybody, Jacob Fuller, but think about those.
He's doing all right. He's got a whiskey business now. fits the motto.
I'm serious. Like, I could think of a couple of snaky people that are doing pretty effing good in our industry, and it makes me sick.
But how long do they keep that up for?
Forever.
I mean, it's been going for pretty good.
When I was working with Jonathan, I remember there was at least a couple dealers that, see, this was the other stuff. Mark was signing up dealers without dealer agreements and giving them terms, and then they weren't paying. So all this equipment that was sitting in his warehouse without us being able to get to was being shipped to people that weren't paying for it. So it was there was
a local guy down here that did the same thing. I think Jonathan, I want to say he came down and got the product. Like Outlaw Audio, I think the name was.
What was he doing?
This would have been Metairie, Louisiana.
I'm not sure who it is, but there was someone.
Or Chalmette, maybe.
They would have a shop, and they would have a going out of business sale, and they would sell unlicensed stuff or whatever, and then they would disappear and pop up in the town over like a month later, something like that.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, it might have been them.
Yeah,
and they did it apparently to like a bunch of other brands too that just lost thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Yeah,
because this guy was, oh, sorry, that business is no longer existing, and he's selling out of another shop in the next town. So,
me and Fade will drop names. Don't you worry, David Moore. We're not scared of none of that shit.
I can never tell if that's Dave Moore. David.
That's his wife.
Okay.
He's got that stupid.
But listen, we're not here to talk about all that. We're here to talk about Sparked. Talk about Sparked, man. Tell us, Omi. We talked about the Omi briefly. Wait.
How did you get into Spark? How did you say? Because
he's a effing.
I want to quit. I'm gonna. Yeah, but
genius.
What was the last step? What was the product that you said? Listen, I can quit my job.
He was wearing Edward coat and the T-Fade glasses, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna make some shit for the smart people out there, because if people are not smart, they won't buy this. If dumb people won't buy this.
It's absolutely you, David Moore. PSI Car Audio is the most shadiest company you ever heard in your life.
100%.
15% for rush orders? Get out of here.
Is that PSI Dave Moore? Because I need some custom passives, bro.
Oh, God. Here we go. Sucking ass. That's not what you said in the text. That's not what you said in the text.
I need some custom passives.
That's not what you said in the text.
Skip. Shut up.
He's lying.
What are you talking about? I love passive radiators.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. Shout out Joaquin Horace.
Joaquin.
Bro, you dropping the big dollars, bro. Chill out.
Bro, Joaquin is in the building.
Look, we wasted all.
That's gonna help me pay for my.
All we do is waste it on strippers and booze.
I need you all to hashtag T-Phase money so that I can send it straight to Ed and get me Spark Innovations Facebook.
All right. Well, wait. Don't get straight into that. But how did you say? All right, this is the product that's going to take me over the edge. I'm quitting my job. Spark Innovation is the new.
Well, that's the thing. It was no one product, so the idea is to have an entire line of stuff and an entire like brand philosophy of what we have. And I've always heard the saying like sell yourself, or if you're able to sell yourself, you don't even need a product. And part of it was trying to capitalize off of all the following on YouTube and like all the ideas I've had. And sitting down with Rich, we had like a list of 10 business ideas, and one was to be a dealer. You know, kind of like what I did with Showtime Electronics. But we said, well, that would be competing with other interests and other friends. And we're not quite salesmen. We have ideas and we can sell, but we're not quite salesmen. So we didn't want to do that. And then I always had kind of the idea in the back of my head of all these things that I could make. And the kind of the philosophy was, all the things I want to make for my builds can become products. So if they're instead of just being a fully one-off custom thing, repackage it in a way that can be reproducible, make multiples, and that's a product. So there's a list I have of like 20 to 30 products, and I haven't been able to work on nearly, a third of them. Omi just happens to be like the third or fourth one that was on the list. So
it should have been the first one.
That's the greatest way to start out, though. All right, I need this. F it, I'm gonna make it and then sell it.
No, that's like
that's everything. That's world. Yeah, I love it.
Necessity is the mother of invention, 100%.
And the thing with Omi is it's something based off an idea I've had since the 90s, and I know other people, especially I've worked on sound cue cards with guys that were doing similar types of units, right? This is just like I said, take that idea and then kind of transform it and adapt it to a reproducible product to be more. We're not mass produced here. You can see I have like a couple circuit boards lined up, but not mass produced, but semi produced on a little assembly line. So that's how Omi pack. And with having a company and wanting to build a real company, we have things like warranties to worry about and liability and stuff like that. So a lot of features in the way it's built is to be safe and also reproducible for other people on my team to help build it and work on it and things like that. So instead of building it like a one-off, it had to adapt over time to be where it is now. Stronger, safer, less prone to having failures right off the bat. Things of that nature.
So how much power is an Omi good for?
I put a 12K through each channel with only 2-degree heat rise from that current. So
is there any loss? How much loss is through it?
No, it's under 1 ohm at that current level. There, as far as about 2 watts we lost.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, can I hit the button while I'm under load, or do I need to turn everything off and hit the button? Or
you can, and this is some things I had to research and go through a lot of testing to do. Number one, AC is a self-extinguishing arc. So once that waveform crosses 0, there's no arcing. Also, these relays are actually, they're 150 amp at 250 volts AC, but they're built like a DC relay so that the contacts are wider apart. So that makes any possibility of arcing even less. The other part of that is that there's a timer here. So when you connect your remote turn on from your head unit and loop it out of here to your amplifiers, so that there's a timer. Every time you hit the switch, it turns off the amp and then back on automatically once it switches modes. So there'll be no current running when it switches. That being said, I've tested it without that and just had it play. Hit the button and it's fine.
Oh, while it's playing? Like while it's wanging?
Yeah. And I have videos of me doing that I haven't put up yet. But I don't want to tell everyone they could do that because I don't know what kind of amp they're running. And I haven't tested it on Brazilian amps. So I can't guarantee that.
Fire!
Yeah. So that's something, that's why we put in the timer feature, hook up your remote turn on through it, and you're guaranteed to be fine. If you don't do that and you're using a big Brazilian amp, I can't.
I think it looks, this is just me. Personally, I think it looks cool. The design of it. Is there a way you can make that more compact though? I mean, that's a serious footprint, bro.
Well, we first started with them more flat down, and we realized for vibration consideration and the way the 8-gauge bends from the terminals, from the relays to the push terminals, that we needed to angle it slightly. And then we said, well, if we're going to do that, let's just make it look cool.
I mean, I don't know. We're always fighting for real estate, dude.
Right. There might be a version 2 eventually, but I needed to bring these out and up more to fit the wire properly. So there were considerations for that, but it ended up being, this is our solution to a lot of those problems.
Make a $220 compact version for Fade.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, like I said, we're always hunting for real estate.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I don't know where I put all my parts.
I don't know how to put straight to his thing on there.
You did it.
I know, but I don't think your audio was coming through.
While we were talking, you went straight to his.
Yeah, I did, but I don't think your audio would come through. I'd have to click you back in.
Well, he and I were talking.
So that's
really?
an 8-gauge terminal to go on the relay. And since there's a little length there, right, that it had to have space to come out so that it didn't hit the board. It's a bad camera right there. So, and then that has to make a right turn and go to the push terminal right there. So as far as space with getting the wire routed how we want, that's the closest we can get it, the tightest, I guess you could say, most compact shape that we can get. For now, anyway, until we relook at the design and make a version 2. But this is that's why it looks like that.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
He can now.
All right.
Could you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. He said that when we go straight to full screen with you, you couldn't hear us. But anyway, dude, that thing is amazing. Amazing. I don't think that people understand
I need push terminals.
How much they actually need that, but
well, some people don't. I mean, it is a niche market, and it's a feature, but it's some people just wire up their amps and they go. So
what is your best-selling product at the moment?
Well, it's been the relay box. I don't have this one fully together.
Those things are so clean. Ugh.
And we'll sell them with like 4 switches.
So tell me, listen, sell that thing to me, Ed. Seriously,
he's not a salesman. He said,
"Sell it to me." Why do I need that thing?
Because you do. There you go.
I'm serious. Why? I want to know. Listen, I want to know why I need that thing. Just tell me.
I'm going to take you on a little journey. I don't think. You know what? I don't have one here. I have them upstairs. We can go upstairs too. Let me just connect you. Well, I'm going to just take this off the tripod. I'm going to go upstairs while talking. I'll bring this with me. It's also hot down here, so let me hold it with this hand. Oof. Oops.
I love when people go on tours, Skippy.
yes, sir.
This ain't no kicker, though, so.
Where's your multiple amp dynos?
Yeah, we need audio precision shit up in here.
But I do have a product I'd be working on that they're going to possibly use someday.
Skedios.
I should have brought my tripod up here now that I think about it.
You're in Philly right now?
Yeah.
I used to be stationed in Philly.
Station where?
Like a radio station?
At the shipyard, right down the road. From veterans, right down from veterans.
Yeah. Which is no longer there, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll get you in the light. All right, so this was our first product.
Holy crap, the thing is huge.
It's a 2-channel relay box. And the reason it's so big is because of the traces. If anyone that does PCB design knows that you need a certain size trace to carry a certain amount of current, right? So they ended up, if you can see, the traces are very wide at the bottom. And we used, they were 40, which were these? I forget which ones I put in there. I put in 25 amp fuses.
Why? Why do you need 25 amps for a relay box?
Well, this one, fuel pumps and stuff like that. This accepts a positive or negative trigger just by hooking it up. Like it'll trigger off a positive or negative and switches out a positive and negative at the same time. So not using a different terminal, all in the same terminal and everything. And so the patent I have on this is called for a bipolar relay. And this was our first one. We didn't sell really much of this. People didn't need the positive and negative. So the evolution of this, and it was 2 channels, well, essentially 4 if you're talking about the negative. People wanted more channels. They didn't need as much current, and they wanted it smaller. So that became this. So answering, concerns of customers is why we went to that. So smaller, didn't need as much current, and all positive. So 4-channel positive output. And what it works best with is our switches that integrate right in. And the switches light up when activated. They're a push button with LED light up switch. So it takes any kind of wiring hassle out of it and can make it clean and neat right away. So you don't have to wire up your switch. Hey, I'm an installer. I have no problem wiring up a switch myself. But if I could plug it in via 4-pin connector, it takes that 15 minutes of time, frees it up and makes it clean right away. So why not? But being an installer and being someone who is a DB dragger and always messes around with my install and is always adding things, I thought, why not have a station somewhere? So when I mount this in the car, I have that terminal strip on the bottom that has 4 switched outputs already fused. It has a constant fused output and it has a ground post. So let's say I decide to add a DSP. My DSP needs a constant, a ground, and an ignition. I have it all right there. I don't have to rerun wire up to the front. I don't have to tap into a harness that I already, zip tied up or whatever. I have it all there in a barrier strip ready to go. Anything like that. I want to add fog lights. Boom, I got it there. I want to add LEDs. It's there. Anything you want to do. Fans, cooling fans. So it's going to be expandable. So I do have this triangle shape on the top. The nameplate goes there. The nameplate goes there, but it's also meant as a wire hold down to make the wire cleaner. But it's also a spot where we're going to mount another small PCB for expansion, like timer features or temperature sensors and things like that. So shout
out to the guy still daisy chaining remote wires from every amp out there.
I mean, that's actually the smallest thing. So a lot of people, I can, run a lot of amps off of my head. Sure you can, but this just makes it easier to connect to, so you don't have to tap into wires all the time.
I blew so many fuses before I figured out what I was doing wrong with so many amps.
One thing that I just learned is that it's also a ground and remote distribution block.
Right.
So it's not just a relay, which is why I was like, sell it to me. You know what I mean? Because honestly, why not just have a relay, all constant power, and then it goes to the thing and the thing and the thing if you need 4 or 5 different 12-volt switched. But you're telling me now it's a ground and the whole thing.
Yeah, and it has 2 ground posts and 2 constant posts. And the constant's already fused, so like I said, it's already protected. Status LEDs, which now you can change. We have RGB selectable.
There you go.
See, this thing is only $70.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm literally just gonna. Is it in stock? Just send me that one right now.
I have this one. I do have one boxed up somewhere too.
But when's the next? What are they custom order everything or?
Well, no, we just haven't been able to keep up with orders.
Let me ask you this: do you have an RCA distribution coming down the pipe?
Well, the one we're working on is delayed because the technology we're trying to put in it is a little bit beyond me. So it's not just a standard, just analog thing,
What could possibly be beyond you about RCA distribution?
Anything that requires firmware or rotary encoders.
So what are you trying to do? Like a line, like volt? Are you trying to boost the signal from the original
one? Well, that might be a part of it. It not necessarily a voltage. It only line drives out of necessity of splitting so much to fight any kind of drop from the split, but not necessarily a line driver. But like I said, the list of 20 different products that I have, that was actually the first one, and we haven't been able to finish it. Because like I said, it's beyond me. And I do have one engineer friend that helped me a little bit. Tina, shout out to Tina. She moved to work for SpaceX. She works on the satellites.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Sorry, she's no longer on the East Coast. So.
Sorry, Ed.
Yeah.
can't work on the cockbox. I'm going to SpaceX.
Yeah. So, but the idea is anything we make, there might be similar products out there. We just want to have our touch to it and have some innovation. That's why it sparked innovations. We want to make it a little bit different, a little better, or a little more useful for certain applications.
Well, right. We had the Omega Switch. Yours is a little better. We have the cock box. Yours apparently is going to be a little better. We have relays already, but yours is a little better. But so yeah, absolutely. I'm all about it.
Yes.
We're trying.
I love the finished product looks. That's
what
it's all about.
Yeah. 100%.
It's not just an off the shelf switch that.
No,
Yeah,
he's in there
It's designed made for this.
Shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and he's got a cool box with a little guy on it.
A cool box.
The guy with the hair.
The one thing we do, so like, unfortunately, on Vicky's video, I read the comments, and so did Rich, and they upset us. People saying, "Oh, that's overpriced. That's just a couple relays. I could do that myself." And fine, do it yourself.
Why is that the go-to for the hater? I could build that myself. Just shut up. Do it.
It goes back to envy, though. Like, a lot of people are envious that they never pursued something like that, so they like to. And he was multiple times off. Said that's then $23 in parts. I'm like, no, you got to go way up more than that. But also, like, people that comment that don't value labor, so they want you to sell at cost, right?
Right. Yeah.
Is he leaving?
Yeah. No, he's got to pee. He's an old man.
So, like, the other thing, like I'm talking about labor, is we're not just soldering boards together. Like, we design and print these in house. This styrofoam I cut and glue into the box myself.
Jeez.
And one of the small jobs I was doing downstairs when we started was the extra styrofoam from cutting. I break up by hand, put in a bin, and use that as our packing peanuts.
It's a full one-stop shop.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I work 16 hours a day, because aside from developing all the products, it's the products then got to be built, got to machine the housings and laser cut the acrylic, solder the boards, all this and that, and then all the packaging, the manuals. I got to print out the manuals, and we got a machine that folds and staples them. That I bought from an old church that made church pamphlets. So
it's crazy.
That sort of thing, though. But if you want to start a company and you want to do it right, we're trying to like make ourselves act and be like the bigger guys, just on a smaller scale. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's just like you said. The guy. That's the one thing they go to. They'll list. They might know exactly what parts you buy, and they'll list them and say, "Well, I could." That's like you said, $23 in parts.
Yeah.
But like, that's like not even half the battle. That's like, less than a quarter of the battle to find the parts that you need,
Right. And the parts are even more than that, because some of them, those relays, they're based off of an actual relay, but I had them change some stuff inside. So we had to pay an extra fee for that. Right. The cables that plug in to our relay boxes, and it's the same cable that plugs into OMI. We have someone overseas making those cables for us. So it's more than just the price of a cable. You know what I mean? Right. It's the way that they do that. Let's see if I can show you here. Here we go. Thought I had a box of these. So there we go. So the cables here, get the light. And then I just recently hired my brother. So if Billy's watching, he's been doing a lot of work for us, and he'll wrap up the cables and bag them and everything. But so we get everything. This is the only thing that's fully made for us, and it's just a cable, besides components. So we do basically everything. The whole product is like everything is here. And here's a couple orders going out. So Taylor's talking about the switch panels. I don't know if you can see it through the bag. I could take one out of the bag. Sort of, it's in the bag, but anyway, so we'll cut the plastic and the acrylic, and then I'll go. Actually, let's go back downstairs, and I'll show you down there. It's gonna get dark here. Our facility is exactly 1/1000th the size of Kickers.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
Hey, exactly. But your Wi-Fi is infinitely better, though.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure.
Because it's small.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So you're talking about the switch panels. Well, there's the HDPE that we cut on the CNC machine here. And then the acrylic.
We got to get one of those, Fade.
I laser engrave, right?
We have one.
And then I'll take it And this is with the paper on it. So with the paper off,
and I want a laser etcher.
Label's more visible because the laser engraver, as you can see, all these things here.
Jeez, what is that? Frogs?
These are Clippo.
Oh, okay.
Wait, do you not have aluminum ones? Am I tripping?
No, they're acrylic. We don't have the ability to do aluminum on ours, so we don't. But for the switch panels, to get the labels more visible like this, before I peel the paper off, I oh, my light went off. That's what I spray paint it. We went through. There's the light. So if you can see that.
Oh, it's sexy.
Yeah, that is nice.
So I spray paint in there, and we use an enamel that sticks to the engraving. And we went through testing of different ways to engrave to get it visible, the possibility of it adhering vinyl labels instead, silk screen, and then different paints like using a roller or a brush. And I found just using an enamel spray stayed on the best and looked the best. So that, hey, that's what works.
Right. What do we? What kind of options do we have on that? We have do we have base knob?
Yeah, we had for the labels. You can do whatever you want as long as it's like 6 digits.
I mean, what do you provide? Like, let's say I order a custom one, which I'm about to. Can I get I want base knob. I want a couple of latching switches. I want a voltmeter. What else can I get?
Well, these have this. If it's based off of this size, you'll see the size for the 4 switches that we offer, and the big one here is for a voltmeter that we offer.
Right.
If you have different requirements, we're trying to cut down on the amount of custom things we offer at the time, just because, like I said, it's just me and now my brother, and it backs us up doing custom things. But we'll still do it once in a while, and we want to do that more once I bring on more people. But I was doing, actually, I have a couple here. So we'll do a custom size, and it just depends on what can fit in your footprint. So here's a switch panel. Let's see. So the label's there. This one fits. Drew Jones gave us the dimensions for his Tahoe, and we did a panel for him. But then I took those dimensions.
Who's that?
And made this. So this is the Tahoe pocket size, fits 2 voltmeters and 4 switches, and it's transparent and see-through, so it looks like a more futuristic.
So the more custom ones you do, the larger your library is going to get. So that's nothing but good.
Yeah, and also on that Tahoe size, damn, I don't have it here. Oh wait, here we go. Here's the faceplate for one that I did where I put in the SMD meters. So I flushed them in and used like rear mounted them through the acrylic.
Nice.
I don't have the frame for that. But I have those files that we can do that if need be. So yeah, I mean, we're doing everything. And I have talked to Steve. Like one of the things we're doing with products is I have a lot of friends in the industry, and that's another thing from doing like an RCA splitter box. Scott Bowman's a friend, so we don't really want to have anything that competes directly. There's nothing in writing, but we're kind of trying to be honorable to people that we work with and that we are friends with. We're on the type of things we have here is like a smaller version of Steve's,
right?
Like the CNC. So this is HDPE. He makes things out of HDPE. We cut acrylic. He makes things out of acrylic. But we're not going to do fuse holders and things like that, at least not at any time soon, unless we actually talk to him about it. But for switch panels, we thought it would be cool if we made panels for his product.
You're never going to make it in this industry if you're being all nice and shit.
Well, that goes back to what we said earlier. You can do a snake and all that. But no, we value our partnerships and our friendships, so we're going to keep it that.
That's why we dig you, man. That's why we dig you. Listen, anybody in the chat in either one, if y'all have a question for Ed or Edward, shout it out. Shout it out. I'll shout it out to old boy. So,
and like DeGuardo, I've done a couple panels for DeGuardo meters.
I fussed at him so bad because his meters don't have any flanges on them.
Yeah.
And dude, you're stuck having to custom fab something in for his shit because they don't have a flange. You know what I mean? So you have to like do some fitting.
Well, these little tiny flange. There was enough for me to machine something up that press fitted them in and held it and everything. So.
Maybe I got the early versions and stuff. And that's also the problem being an early adopter of things.
Are you shipping overseas anything?
Onesie twosies, but what we're really looking for is overseas partners or a dealer here, because we're not a sales and logistics company. Like I said, it's just me and my brother during the day.
The car audio guy needs a relay box. He said.
Yeah, we could hook him up. Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
To Germany and England like once or twice. So if someone's interested, we can. We just got, when we can.
Make him a cool intro car audio guy.
For sure, dude. Seriously. You gotta send him a bunch of footage though.
Yeah.
No, he does cool projects. The one he did with Bruce with EXO was really excellent.
For sure. And I don't. Here's the thing: is people that are really good at what they do make it look easy, right? Yeah. And like you make the Omi look easy, but that's no small task what you did, right? And car audio guy making those videos, people are like, well, that's a cool video. What's the big deal? But if you've ever tried any video editing, it is like, pull your hair out.
That's why he does it live. If you watch his live things, he shows you how much, dude. He has like 10 layers on his like video editor thing. It's like, dude, I got like 2.
Am I that slurred? Sorry.
It's like 6 hours and hours I stayed with Bruce, and he'll spend 16 hours editing. Yeah.
And it shows, man. It shows the quality, Yeah. The car audio
career or that job is very undervalued, and people go, "Oh, that's easy. It only took you, so many hours to do." No, you pay me because it only took me a few hours. If you tried, it would take months. So definitely undervalued type of skill there.
Right. He wants to know, do you have any tips for doing the talking to one another edit?
Oh. When I started doing the split screen, I got better over time. But using After Effects, their garbage mask and their clipping, you can clip around shapes. So I made it eventually where I can hand myself stuff, right? But the one thing I discovered in trying to do split screen over the years was wearing the lab coat as Edwin was very white. So if I'm on the other side wearing a black shirt, the reflection of the white lab coat affected the ambient light, so that line was harder to close that seam, to blend that.
Oh my God.
Like the reflection back and forth on things. So if you can get someone to be a stand-in wearing a lab coat and then cut them out and put your own footage in, then that's great. That's what they do on professional type things. They'll have a stand-in, but that's why I did Edwin, is because I had no one around to do a video with, and I needed someone around. So that's why I did it,
Dude. So. I'm like so proud of myself if I can do like a freeze frame edit. You know what I mean?
Hey, Fade does a text overlay and he's blown up.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot. That's so hot.
Bro, I just put T-Fade in 12/12s.
What? It's amazing.
Cut it. Print.
Well, that's all right. Some people just go direct from their phone, raw footage and up. Hey.
Dude, I swear, as with most things, I just threw money at the problem and it didn't help at all. Because obviously, you can't throw money at being good at something. Like I bought like a video editing. I bought like the top of the line MacBook Pro. Blah blah blah. I'm still terrible.
You just got to put in the time, and if there's a lot of techniques that I wanted to do, I just watched YouTube tutorials on it. So.
You could learn anything on YouTube. It's scary.
Honestly, for real, you can.
Yeah.
There's so many like good.
No, I was just gonna say, but I mean, eventually you're gonna have to get your hands dirty and fuck it up a couple of times. Right. Like you can legit watch a YouTube video and do, get a pretty good idea of what you need to do, but then you're still gonna mess it up, right? You're still gonna mess it up. You're still gonna tear shit up.
At least you tried, right? And what does Kevin Smith say about filmmaking? Said the majority of making film is just to make films. And if all you can do is make a shitty movie, make a shitty movie.
That's right. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, that somebody quote that and put it next to Ed's face. Like, if all you can do is make a shitty movie. Oh man, that's awesome right there. Seriously, just do it. Just do it.
Exactly. Yep.
It's I'm over the whole demo vids on YouTube. I never click one unless it's something freaky. But like your vids and Big D and people that do like tech stuff, man, I thrive on that. Like I just love watching that. Like when I learn something. You don't even
like tech stuff.
No, but I mean I like other people doing it and like teaching me kinda. But then I don't use it for anything. But like, you know, like if I see Mead installing something in his F-250, it's just fascinating to watch that than versus hair flopping around for the 10,000th time, you know?
No, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
That's why we just need more of that, you know?
Well, that's also why I was telling him I like his progression videos where like, this is why I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it. We're going to figure this out along the way.
And then I love when you put Deadner in and it didn't gain because we've all been there.
We talk about that all the time.
Follow up.
Yeah, the follow-up, and like a part of it is not having time, but like what you're saying, the progression and kind of having a story along was to then go through the car and see what areas did gain, you know, but just haven't had time to do a follow-up for that and even though I know in my head through the years of doing it, kind of a good idea of what will gain me and what might lose, I wanted to do that on video to show people. And that's one of those videos where people, and I go, it didn't gain. I wonder what that is. And people say, it's because your frequency changed. Like, even though I show playing a different frequency, like they skipped over that part of it, I guess. So, but
well, it's because, you know, welcome to SBO where nothing makes any sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Also,
hey, are you going to finals?
No, I'll be at Sundown show this weekend, and then just getting back to doing work and probably going to SEMA, but that's about it.
How can you not go to World Finals? Like that's where everyone is.
Which World Finals though?
Oh,
well, we're talking about Unified. Who goes to Nowhere, Oklahoma?
Oh my God,
I've always been a TV drag guy, so
that's where it is. Yeah. Where's it at? Knoxville?
Dude, did Rockfield just comment on our shit?
Yes, sir.
How has he been ducking us for a spot on the show?
I don't know. Answer them PMs, Sammy.
Yeah, for real. I swear to God, I've sent you like 3 PMs.
Yeah, let's go.
I got some Rockville woofers for sale.
Yeah. What the hell? This guy probably got Rockville as many views as anyone other than maybe your channel. Throughout the whole $150 challenge. Kidding me?
Yeah.
On the $150 spiel challenge, yeah.
Oh, he said you never sent him nothing, Fade.
I got it. I got that.
You got it.
Actually, I got like half the winners their prizes already.
No, he doesn't. He has nothing.
I swear, I'm telling you.
Fade is never gonna be in charge of nothing again. Like he's just
that's 100%.
Like how do you? I give it up.
Actually, did you win?
I didn't win.
Yeah, no. See, that's why he doesn't have anything.
But he wants a prize.
No, I knew I wasn't going to win. I know there's people out there that, and I've seen a thread on this recently where they say they won't go to a competition unless they know they're going to win.
Oh, yes.
That's kind of a sore loser type.
No, that's why I say the Term Lab ruined car audio competitions because everyone knows,
you mean like the home version. Yeah. Like
everyone
testing
knows what everyone else is doing. Yeah. So if you don't have that, you're not going to go.
But things can happen. And I told a story on that thread about my greatest win ever. And this was 2002 or 2003 at one of the Nopi shows. I don't know if you guys did those.
Yeah, I remember those.
But it was a DB drag at a Nopi show. And I went in with the same crowd that's been at every multi-point event that year. I knew I was sitting like third, fourth-ish compared to these guys. This was Super Street 102 back when that was like the most competitive class back in 02 and 03. And I knew I was like 6 dB down, but going through semifinals, I was tweaking and tuning in the lanes, and I went up every round. And Team Walrus, I think they're out of West Virginia, where the guys were sitting in the top seed, and they went down every round. They were blowing coils or something was happening. So by the time I met him in the final round, I was half a dB above him and I won first place. So
there you go.
Hey,
I could
half
have
the
stayed
battle.
home because I wasn't sitting in first when I was at home, so I should have stayed home.
Right.
But no, instead I got a 6 foot tall trophy and my points to go to finals.
I don't give a damn.
You'll never be the loudest guy sitting on your sofa.
Right.
No.
Just show up.
Yeah.
100%
$150 SPL challenge, old school SPL challenge, same thing. If you know you're not going to win, it's still fun. It got me content to do videos and just testing procedures and stuff like that, and it's just fun. So why not?
That's one of the things that I love about the $150 challenge is you can play around with some cheap stuff and learn way more than $150 worth of information about your vehicle and what it's going to do.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not $150. You're going to spend way more than that on different setups.
Some people
I always have $1,000 in it. There's no way I'm getting out of it. That's true. Hey, this amp might do 50 more watts.
Dude, I have $1,000 already into the old school challenge already,
and no score,
and 0 score.
Jesus!
Oh my god!
I got a little amp over here. It's not I can't afford to get another MTX 81,000.
Oh, you seen those? Those are coming up. Yeah.
But I'll be using the
audio bond.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go.
What happened to them?
Yes. What?
The rack mount.
Oh, that's not fair.
Look at that thing.
I happened to buy that from Neil Barber. He has a whole bunch of people always wanted those amps. He apparently has a stack of them still sealed in the boxes. Jeez. And got it pretty cheap. I got that before the old school challenge started. And I'm like, okay, well, I spent my money this month on my fun budget on that. I might as well use that amp instead of hunting down one that will probably win me. And I have my old school strokers to make it a real old school build. I'll use.
Do you have some old school strokers?
Yeah, I got 6 12s.
Yo, let me cop, dude.
They're supposed to go into this, but I might just put them in there once in a while for fun.
Let me get a couple.
Well, 4 are non-built. I have the recones. I built the recones, but I didn't put the cones in yet.
Wow.
One motor is shifted, so I'm just waiting on.
Like, what the hell is that little stupid thing in the middle? What does that do?
It's a bias control. Well, the spider on top
to stiffen it or loosen it.
It's a bolt that goes right to the solid pole piece, and that connects the spider. And you could raise it and lower it, which tightens or loosens the spider.
Why haven't we seen that in any other sub?
Because people.
The Modern Stroker Classic has that. Power Acoustic had one, I think. Maybe it was them. And one other brand had it. I forget who, but
that would be interesting to change it on the fly. You know,
they still might have a patent on it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Damn,
it was patents. Good. I did my favorite video I've ever done is my stroker video.
That's
I
funny.
think it's called "Is This the Greatest Subwoofer of All Time?"
Because your most viewed video is the underwater thing. The one my favorite one was the series versus parallel thing. But it's funny, your favorite one's on the old school stroker. That's funny.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that water video just blew up.
I have no idea why. It's a horrible video, but
isn't that weird? Yeah,
because science, dude.
Science. People like visuals, you know. Like
I wonder if maybe like a couple of high schools started using it, sharing it, looking at it. You know what I mean? Like to show like.
Possibly because so Rich, my business partner, and I did a series called Sounds Fun, and it kind of bombed, but we did get people that work for schools contacting us wanting to hire us to make a video series to teach physics in a fun way. And we thought we would do that. That was one of our ideas of when we had a list of 10 business ideas. That was one of them, to make educational videos to sell to schools.
One of the ones that I love the most is the metal plate and the salt. Yeah, I know you've seen those.
Yeah, I made one myself in the
video.
Oh
my god. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, here it is.
I've never seen it.
Dude, it's fascinating. The different shapes.
So right now, I was testing. This is what I did vibration testing on for Omi. It's all dusty now. But I had a pizza tray up here, and I was pouring sugar on it to make it's called a calandria plate.
Right.
So you can see the actual standing waves in a 2D form.
You've got to watch. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, just Google. I don't even know what they would Google.
Well, you can go on YouTube and search "Sounds Fun" on my channel.
There you go. And it like the different frequencies make the most amazing patterns in the salt or sugar or whatever at certain frequencies. Like certain frequencies are super like a honeycomb pattern, and then there's some are I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, you guys just have to go check it out, but it is super fascinating.
We explain why in the video.
Right, there you go. I've seen them done with fire. That's kind of stupid.
I have Rubens tube over there somewhere. Yeah, that we did on the video.
Kind of stupid.
I mean, it's dumb. It doesn't really show you a whole lot. I mean, it'll show you like a sine wave, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like moving and stuff.
The patterns that it makes on the plate is way more interesting though.
And the point is, it's a visual representation of sound, and also appeals to people who aren't audio geeks like us.
Right. 100%.
Kids and the outsiders. So those videos will then get tons of views. At least that's the idea.
Yeah.
Didn't really work.
Well, maybe, hopefully it does. But listen, we got to wrap this up, Edward.
The man's got business to do.
Yeah. So we need you to tell us what's coming down the pipe. Tell us what you're excited about. Give us any parting
and
thoughts.
when's the 4 channels going to be?
Exactly. I need a couple. Or a couple 2 channels. Yeah.
Well, here's all these we're building now. Like I said, we got the one in the box upstairs. So they're actually, I just got an order. One of these notifications on my phone was an order for one. So that box is about. But we got more. No, excited to get Omi out there. Right after Omi's Fanny, the cooling fans. Then right after that, we don't know. We got a couple things in the works, but I want to get Omi done. We got to finish the manuals and get the boxing and all that, but it's basically ready to go. As far as my YouTube channel, I'm working on a few videos, a couple collaborations I already filmed. Just got to edit them and put them out there and whatnot. So that's a couple weeks away. Working on my shit box, the shitty Scion that I have. I just mounted some incriminator amps in the window there, so hopefully I'll have some rooms to take to the show for the drive. The woofers I didn't make. I'm making a woofer box to mount in the other back window for the DS18 6.5 inch, but I'm not going to finish that soon. That'll be, but that's some of the things coming up that I'm excited about. With that, as far as what I'm excited about tonight, I'm going to finish Kyle Rutherford's Clippos, keychains, and stuff like that here, and assemble Omi. So I'll get that. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And then you heading out. You said you're going to the Sundown show.
Yeah, that's on Saturday.
Will you be selling stuff there as well?
Yeah, well, that's the idea of building these to get to the show. The switch panels and the relay boxes. We won't be selling Omis. I won't be able to build them to take to the show, but at least the relay boxes and the switch panels.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention Trippy, so we didn't have the curse on that.
Well, we'll have to have him back on.
We don't need that story.
I mean, if you want the story, I can give you the rundown.
No, I wonder how many people even know what we're talking about, right? You'd have to be like a long-time SMD user to even know what we're talking about.
All I know is that I did get over my head with that build, and he talked me into doing it. He's like, "You could do it, man." I was just supposed to build the box, and he wanted me to build more, and then he wanted to change to something else, and
when you just got money, you just threw money at it, and
you
kept changing hands.
Money at them.
The curse was that when it went through multiple different people were getting in over their head a lot, and then either wrecking stuff, and he has a whole story of a whole vehicle before the Hummer where a guy took the roof off, made it a convertible, it was a Ford Excursion, I think, and then skipped town. And he could never track the guy down. So like the guy cut the roof off, and his Excursion or whatever it was, expedition is sitting there with just a cut roof, sitting on an empty lot somewhere, and the guy's gone. So
you'd figure you'd find like one solid guy to take over his builds, like that has time and does that for a living, By now.
I mean, he did. It passed through that many hands.
Yeah, like James Taylor would be someone, but he might be from here.
I know it. I think from you to David Berger, it went to some other guy that it was chaos, like the wiring with the alternators and stuff. I remember. Huh?
There's a couple hands in between.
No, it went to a Raggy, and a Raggy did all the alternators.
But Berger said it was just chaos under there.
No, it didn't. Wasn't chaos. Raggy put like the blue for positive and the silver for negative.
Chaos.
Like that. That apparently was like the worst thing in the history of mankind. Anyway,
stop jocking it, Raggy.
I'm not jocking it, Raggy. I
let the man die in peace.
Whole thread. I read that whole thread. Why everyone hates a Raggy now, and I was like, he's kind of right. So I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, I never had a problem with him. I thought he was a good guy.
So
y'all don't know the history.
We do know the history.
Nope.
We've both been around. I've been around it longer than you have.
You're a liar.
Anyway,
I ain't gonna say it.
All right, I ain't worried about you. We gotta go. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah. How long have you been on? An
hour? Hour and 142 minutes.
An hour and 30 longer than I expected to be on.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, parting thoughts, Mr. Ed or Edward.
Where can we see you? Where can we get in touch with you? Where are your info? Where's your videos? Plug it.
It's 2 places: Showtime SPL on YouTube and SparkedInnovations.com, or the Sparked Innovations Facebook page. Which, if you need to send me a message, is the best place. I have about 100 messages on my private page that are unread because I can't get to them.
2011, Ed. You did not reply to me in 2011.
Oh my God.
Damn it. Yeah. I'm going to pull it up right now.
What are you going to do?
Send me a thumbs up or something. Jesus.
Yeah, just give me a click, man.
Yeah, just be like, F me. I don't care.
Right. See a wall of stuff, and I'm just like...
Yeah. A couple other ones had to do that, too. They just got so big that you can't handle it on your personal, you know?
It's just some of it's spam, too. I know that. Yeah. And
listen, if you need somebody to like,
it's not fade. It's not fade. It's not fade.
Help. I got you. I'll work. We'll work for product.
Just don't click those links that say, "Is this you in this video?"
Dude, that shit. It got me the other day.
Did it? What is that? I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
It got me.
It's like a phishing scam or something.
I
don't know. I was like, as soon as I clicked it, I was like, "Oh, my phone has AIDS now." Shit. But then I remembered it's an iPhone and you can't give it AIDS. So
because it can't do nothing.
Because it doesn't fall for the bullshit.
It doesn't have anything. Yeah. That's all I got.
I'm done.
You didn't ask me about this.
What is that?
That's the light. Remember my light up box?
That's why we need a Google Docs printout.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's a capacitor. So I've been working with capacitors for many, many years.
I love live shows like where they show stuff. It's awesome. Are you gonna make it light up right now?
Yeah.
All right, make it light. Oh, I do see it making. That's crazy. And that was in 2008. You said?
I worked there in 06, 07, and then 08.
Man.
That's what I did. I wrapped it, had a big panels and little panels and whatnot. Wrapped them around my box and sequenced them, the different sequence and whatnot. But that was it.
That's amazing. Technology.
Yeah. But that's a capacitor. It's just a flat capacitor that has a reactive chemical on it that lights up when there's a field. So
that's amazing.
Remember the Razor light, the flip phone, or the Razor phone?
Yeah.
Flip phone?
Yeah.
That's what we did. This panel was just that illuminated the buttons. That was that.
That's crazy.
It does need to be a 3-hour show, but unfortunately, it's going to be an hour and 50-minute show. So.
I'm absolutely never doing a 3-hour show.
I feel like you can ask me about it, so I just wanted to show it.
No, yeah, I love it. Yeah.
We just got to have it back on. That way look, we do 2 hour and a half shows, and then it's 3 hours.
Hey, you've been on Big D and them shows like 10 times or something, dude. You're ducking us.
I don't know why people want to listen to me talk. I guess they don't. That's why we only get like 60 viewers or something.
Maybe. Right.
All right, Skippy. Final thoughts.
Yes, sir. If you're gonna watch 12 Volt Talk tomorrow, the only time you should ever watch it, Skipper1 will be on the show.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying.
Are you gonna be? Oh my god!
It's the Sidekick Show.
Oh my
all
god!
All we're gonna do the entire hour is trash you and Big D.
Oh my heart! My heart!
All the donations will go to me. I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
Money. Dude, that hurts. It hurts my heart. I can't believe you're doing that to me.
Yeah. So tune in tomorrow. It's just gonna be the Skipper1 High Five Vega hours.
I hate you.
Antics occur.
I hate you.
Yeah. So you and Big D could have your own show one week. I don't. Feel
that
like
is
doing
100% happening.
Oh my god! Just snooze fest.
Right.
Yeah. All right. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Ed.
I'm gonna be in touch with you. I need a couple products.
No, he's definitely not.
Message me later. Thank you guys so much.
Yes,
all the super chats. Thank you guys.
Wait.
Cut the hard line.
Does it just go away?